Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for access support, any kind of updates and the such. I usually go about on Twitter X. Yesterday, I did manage to publish another episode of Jusa. Tomorrow, I will be publishing a demo gameplay from which game I completely forgot. Far Alone Sales. I did manage to play that demo and yeah, I enjoyed quite a bit. It seems an interesting game, but yeah, tomorrow I will be publishing that video. And just a reminder that I already have again our completed gameplay series here for you to enjoy. Just check the playlist here on the main page of the channel. So let's go to the news. And yesterday, again, with the thing regarding the 60 class series from NVIDIA. We got the 5060 Ti, the 16 gigabytes version review roundup. I don't think I didn't watch carefully here exactly if only 16 gigabytes. I think there was somebody that managed to snag along one 8 gigabyte, but I don't think there is a comprehensive review there, at least to my knowledge. There again, these ones don't specify if it is 8 or 16, but again, sorry, Hardware Unboxed went on their review and they couldn't manage. The situation was that they requested for review the 8 gigabyte version for NVIDIA. NVIDIA said that they could ask for AIB's partners for that GPU, and they requested that on the AAB partners, and the response that they got is NVIDIA did say strictly no 8 gigabytes version for reviews. And yeah, basically that's the situation that we have with the 5060 Ti. The overall consensus seems to be not a good option. I will leave it here, the hardware unbox, which was at this moment the only review that I managed to see in terms of this GPU. The sense that I got, it kind of performs around the same out of a 7700 XT from AMD in terms of performance, given 1440p and even 4K. Again, the numbers are a little bit here and there, but the sense that I got, they at least at rasterized performance, performs around that of a 7700 XT. Overall performance uplift from the previous generation, so the 4060 Ti 16 gigabytes, I think hovers around between 10 to 15% uplift in terms of performance, it seems. Again, if I remember correctly, the numbers that Hardware Unbox gave here, yeah, it's not a good deal. Even for the price that was announced for $140, the price per frame, and even in terms of uplift and what we have here on the market, we are not seeing this GPU at MSRP even. The stock seems to be very low also, so it's going to inflate the price. I think you'll be best served if you want the current generation, again, for 430, maybe the 9070 non XT, or even I think even the 5070, if you find it around that $500 price, which seems to be impossible, it's a better option because it does in terms of uplifting performance a little bit better. And from previous generation, I think you'll be best served between a 7700 XT or even a 7800 XT, given that usually the prices are more competitive there and they perform around about the same. Again, this is not looking good for Nvidia this generation, um, and supposedly this is not going well for them. Even with this 5060 Ti, even trying to lower the prices from the previous generation, so the 4060 Ti being the 16 and 8 gigabytes version, I don't think this is going to be a good deal. I think even from previous generation, like the 4000 series or even the 7000 series from AMD, you will get better deals here, especially at this price point. If you're in a tight budget, I don't think you just go and try to spend an extra dollars to try and just buy this because it's an NVIDIA card. Again, uh, and also the fact that we have all the software issues that we've been seeing there lately. But yeah, in terms of competition with the 5060 Ti, we got the 9060 XT. Supposedly, it's going to be expected to launch in May around Computex. Again, this is the rumor. and supposedly is going to rival the 5060 series again, supposedly 5060 Ti, given that it has the same kind of memory configuration, 16 and 8 gigabytes VRAM. But yeah, we don't have any kind of rumors or leaks in terms of performance yet, at least that I saw. I didn't see anything there. But yeah, it's a possibility here. Again, AMD is still, in that sense, waits for NVIDIA to do their moves and then try to counterattack or counterpunch with more competitive GPUs. Again, if the 9060 XT is going for something similar to the 9070 XT in terms of delivering price to performance and also uplift in terms of performance of previous generation. Hopefully, again, through the specs, it seems from what we've been seeing already with RDNA 4 chips and what they can deliver comparatively with the previous generation, it seems that we might get a good GPU. But yeah, we have to wait. Again, official information regarding specs and price to have a better idea if this is going to be a good GPU or not. But yeah, hopefully it will compete and try to disrupt the market, and especially keeping a supply for the demand that is going to be had. Given that there is a lot of people with older GPUs that really were waiting. They skipped this previous generation because the 7000 series from AMD for them probably didn't do enough in terms of uplift in performance generation to generation. And even from the 4000 series, they didn't see probably huge uplifts in terms of also performance, given that they were satisfied at the time with the product that they had. But yeah, again, I think there is a lot of people that have the 1000 series from NVIDIA and even 2000 series that went on those GPUs that I think they are waiting for a good product to come out. And hopefully the MD is doing a kind of a good job disrupting the market there in certain sense, in certain aspects of in terms of price brackets. Hopefully the 9060 XT can deliver something good at around, I don't know, trying to speculate prices, I don't know, $350, the 9060 XT 8 gigabytes, maybe 350, because then you can sell the 9060 non XT around 300 or so to try and beat the 7600 that they had, and probably do some competition in terms of price to performance with Nvidia in that price bracket. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how they're going to tackle this. But yeah, continue now with the Nvidia. We got an interesting case here. Somebody bought a 4090 and then returned it to the seller emptied out of the chip and the memory modules also. Again, this now on the used market stuff, we have to be very aware. Again, it's been a while. I think I bought a couple of stuff regarding hardware on the second market, but nothing usually GPUs or CPUs. That things that might seem that it work, but then when you put on a PC, if it doesn't work, it's a huge issue. I think I bought memory modules one time, and again, like for example, a cooler or even a case. I think it's okayish. Even a motherboard, it's a little bit might be a little bit risky because I don't know, some MOSFET or something like that might be broken. And again, other than that, even monitors a little bit tricky. But when you are on the tight budget, sometimes you take that chance. But again, I think GPUs, mainly GPUs. I don't think it's just last case scenario. It's my opinion, because we've been seeing at least since the thing with the mining stuff from the 3000 series. Again, it's been a shit show for people that trying on the tight budget, trying to find something used that still works for them to, again, replace even older GPU or something that it broke, and it's just they need as an emergency something cheap but functional. And we've been seeing some cases like this is a very special case because again you need some kind of knowledge and how to dismantle the chip itself and the memory models, which are the most valuable stuff from a GPU, let's say. But yeah, but fortunately, the person that sold that RTX 4090, again, supposedly he was a little bit suspicious when that buyer bought the retail price for the 4090, even though it's used but in pristine condition. And before he sent it, or before concluded the deal, for safety, he took a lot of pictures of the GPU before selling off, and also took out insurance with the order. Again, this is from eBay. eBay, you have this option of insuring the things that you are selling, just in case something happens between you and the buyer, or even in shipping or something like that. And again, what it saved him, because right after the buyer received that, he immediately initiated the return process, saying that there was no video on the GPU side of things. And then at the time when he received the GPU, again, as you can see on the images, no chip and no memory modules there. Again, black market stuff there. Again, that um, given that there is a lot of the tariff wars and sections and all that jazz. Again, a black market usually provides an alternative way of getting stuff around, which is not good. I usually don't like very much black markets. Again, secondhand market is a completely different thing. But yeah, black markets like this, again, you probably going to see this especially happening on higher end GPUs like 4090s, and probably in a couple of years 5090s, 5080s. I will assume 4080s will see some things like this happen from time to time, but even though I think it's only the high end. Yeah, curiosity to a certain degree, but yeah, it's more of a warning for you if you going around on getting like secondhand stuff. Again, one of the things is at least see if the user or the seller is a verified seller. Try to check the feedback of the deals that the seller has, because even though this seller sold to business, supposedly a business in California with 30,000 K, or sorry, 30,000 feedback. Again, I will assume it's positive feedback. This thing happened. Again, there is speculation that probably that account was hacked and took advantage of that. But yeah, just watch out when you're going about doing these things. I think there is for United States the Jawa stuff there. It's kind of the same marketplace with PC components. Supposedly they between the seller and the buyer, they act as a middleman, in the sense they try to verify if the hardware is in good condition, and they also have like a second-hand store, which everything is verified for them if it works or not, to give some kind of guarantee for the buyer there. But yeah, uh, again, I understand if you are really constrained in terms of budgets, and you want something just or to remediate or really replace a even older component, that you might be tempted to get to secondhand market. But just be aware, try to do all the checks to see if it is something that it's worthwhile. Continuing with NVIDIA, supposedly there is already a game driver ready to address a lot of the situations regarding the 50 series GPUs, including black screen crashes, freezes, and a lot of more stuff, and even dual monitor setups. I think it's one of those things that was happening also. Again, I give a quick glance here. Supposedly it's fixed a lot of these situations, especially game crashing and general bugs regarding black screens, and some specific cases with certain aspects of setups and even certain monitors. But there are still some open issue, sorry, which is RTX 50 series notebooks resume from modern standby can result black screen. There is some situation on Cyberpunk 2077 will crash when using photo mode to take a screenshot with path trace enable. And then supposedly Red Dead Redemption 2 crashes shortly after starting the game in DirectX 12 mode. Supposedly there is no issue in if you're using the Vulkan mode. Again, let's see if they really manage to patch this thing out. Again, it's been a hell of a 3 months for a lot of users. they have these new GPUs and even older GPUs, because the fact that they're trying to patch the 50 series, a lot of the 30 and 40 series owners, they to remediate the situation that they starting to have out of nowhere, they had to roll back the drivers. And even that, again, if it's not done correctly, some of the files might not be overwritten, and continue to have issues. So DDU, so display driver uninstall, is the best option if you're going to go about it. You use that, or first you download the driver version that you want to use. DDU, disconnect the internet, or disconnect the internet after the before installing executing DDU. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess here. And then afterwards reboot with offline, install the driver from complete driver, and then supposedly the thing should be patched there. And then this is from hardware. In terms of gaming news, we got another mod for Monster Hunter Wilds, which is a text decompressor tool. Supposedly improves stuttering issues. I think one of the things that the game engine really doesn't do very well is the compressing, decompressing texture stuff there. I think it tries to overuse too much there to try and optimize file sizes, it seems. And I think it's one of the issues regarding stuttering on this game. One of, not the only one. And this mod, basically, what it does is just again, you need to have extra exercise on the disk to use this. Basically, what it does is just decompresses completely the textures and even the high resolution ones, and it just use it as it is. So also, again, take an account on the VRAM usage. Again, this usually impacts the VRAM buffer textures. So supposedly this will somewhat, if you have a good VRAM and if you have a pretty decent, I think, speedy SSD, I think you will be seeing some improvements on stuttering. But I think this kind of things should not only be dependent on modding. I think again, supposedly they are working. The studio is working on improving, continuously improving in terms of PC performance, which is the main complaint there. But yeah, at this moment you got a patch from the modding community, which is basically it just uses decompressed and loads the decompressed textures to avoid using the game engine compressing and decompressing thing there. But yeah, and lastly, there was this Cronos, the New Dawn. Again, the first trailer got my attention. This is from Bluebird team. They supposedly did again, the Bluebird team is seemingly pretty good on doing horror games. The thing that they had, and again, I think this comes about to also to the publisher side of things with Silent Hill 2 remake. People, I don't remember playing the original one, so there was Resident Evil, sorry, Silent Hill 2 remake. Sorry about that. I never played the original one. I watched some videos here and there. Never watched a full gameplay, but I watched some videos regarding lore and the stuff. And seemingly, the remake was very toned down. Some censoring, lack of a better term, of regarding some characters and even some story beats, psychological horror thing. I think to a certain degree, the publishing arm, which is Konami, was involved in that more than anything, because I think Bluebird team, from their point of view, they just want to get around and launch the best game that they can. And in the case of a remake, I think the most faithful that you can get to the original one it's the best way to go about it. Uh, but this one, it really intrigues me. We got yesterday a gameplay reveal. Again, there is some tidbits of gameplay mixed with some, I will assume, in-game cutscenes kind of a thing there, but you got a good glimpse of the feel of the gameplay. Again, this seems to be inspired, I covered that, by 12 Monkeys, the movie, in terms of the atmosphere and the time travel aspect of things. It started off it reminded me very well like a checkup of certain things, very similar to Blade Runner 2049 after K, the android, has to do a checkup to see if his logic is okay, kind of that kind of a feeling. And then the body horror, very reminiscent of Dead Space, of course, a lot of influences there, and the gameplay seemed pretty good. At least the tidbits that we saw seemed pretty good. The only concern that I still have is the fact this is going to be Unreal Engine 5 game. Again, stuttering issues. I don't know how well this is going to be, but again, I didn't see or notice any kind of stuttering issues. But again, it was tidbits, very edited, but it ramped up a little bit more my interest and my expectations regarding this game. And yeah, in this article there is the gameplay trailer, sorry, and yeah, it's one of those that is already in my wish list. I like this kind of games, third person. The combat feels solid. There are some really good tidbits that you can check. And again, the fact that it's Dead Space influence is the fact that the body horror, that there is like the merge system, which is similar also to Callisto Protocol in the sense they do the evolve thing in Callisto Protocol, the enemies. But yeah, it's very inspired. But it differentiates itself because it's more human body horror, not alien body horror, let's say, which is again it caught my interest there. But yeah, it's on my wish list. I will try to keep tabs on this game as best as I can. But yeah, other than that, this is what I got from news. Let's go for some gaming deals. On Steam, we got Baldur's Gate 3 still on sale, 20% off. Blueprints is a new release, very positive feedback from everybody, 10% off. We got Cocoon, 50% off. Again, this is a puzzle game with some combat there, like boss combats, if not mistaken. We got Dredge, 50% off, one of those Lovecraftian horror games with some fishing mechanic there. It's one of those that I really want to play because I like this kind of smaller games that are very story heavy there. We got also Forever Skies. It's a new release also, came out of early access. Seems pretty good, or at least good enough to justify at least this price here of 20, and it's 20% off. We got Hard Space Ship Breaker. Very positive review since it came out. I think this was also in early access at some point in time. And basically, it's kind of a simulator in the sense you have your grunt that always is dismantling spaceships and trying to make your way through life by doing this job. And yeah, it's very seems very good. Then we got also Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Again, this had good feedback when it came out. It's a puzzle game with some story beats there. It seems interesting enough. We got also Nobody Wants to Die, this detective game that launched last year. Seems pretty good. Unreal Engine 5 game, if not mistaken, and at this moment is 40% off. Then you got Shardpunk, again, turn-based combat. It's a little bit hard, but it seemed interesting. I played the demo and I published that video of the demo gameplay. It's on my playlist, again, on demo gameplays. But yeah, it caught my interest. It's one of those that I really want to try out one of these days, and it's 40% off. And lastly, we got Stalker 2. It's 20% off. It's got pretty decent reviews here. And yeah, it's one of those that, again, I will eventually try out. I remember playing a Stalker title or a couple of Stalker titles way back in the day. It's one of those that I really enjoy the atmosphere and kind of the suspense and horror in certain aspects. And the combat seems pretty good also. But yeah, with all that said, I will wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon as usual for extra support. The extra support is more aligned for me to try and get a better storage solution. So I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.